Hi, I'm Carl, and welcome to Adventures in Camping. Today, I want to talk about tools. It's time for tools. Huh? Yeah, those of you may know that reference. More power does not always come in the newest and the fanciest tool. It's important to have the right tools in your base camp. Also, it's important to have the right tools when you're out on a hike or a scout or whatever you want to call it. So stick with me and we'll get right to it. Oh, and by the way, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. All right, so here we are in camp and we're going to discuss base camp tools. We'll also go over a few things that you might want to take on a hike with you. But your base camp tools are going to be larger and heavier than what you would want to take on a hike. So, let's get started. Let's talk hatchets. Now, there are many styles of hatchets, many qualities. There are some good, there are some bad, and there are some ugly. If you notice, all three of these hatchets have wooden handles, and this one has I think it's steel with a rubber outside. Be honest, I'm not that thrilled with this one. I like a wooden handle. Wooden handle seems to take up the shock better, but also if you're out in the woods and you're deep in the woods and you break a handle, you have a better chance of doing something with one of these than you do this. And I guarantee, no matter what they say, eventually even this is gonna break. It is a nice little one. The other thing though is this is stainless steel, okay? This is high carbon steel, this one is high carbon steel, and so is this one, okay? Your standard hatchet. This is a very good one. If you ever find one of these somewhere, you should buy it on the spot. This is a kind of a rare and hard to find one. This is a Norland. Norland made hatchets in, I believe, the 60s and 70s. I can't tell you exactly the dates. But this is a very nice little hatchet. High carbon steel. Great, great. Really lasts forever. This one here, I have no idea. It's got something stamped in it that I can't read. But it's not a bad little hatchet. I've used it some. I've used this one more, and then I have one that I've kind of had to semi-retire, and this is an old Boy Scout hatchet. I think it was a plum, which is what the Boy Scouts usually used, and that's a little Boy Scout hatchet there. But as you can see, this one here has now developed a crack right here, so it needs to be rehandled. If you want me to show how to rehandle one of these, a hatchet, let me know in the comments. I did a video on rehandling a full-size axe, but I haven't done one on rehandling a hatchet. So if you want one specifically on that, let me know. Now, when you're in camp, you're also going to want something heavier. These are great for small projects, but they're not something that you would want to use on something large. Oh, and why do I like high carbon steel? High carbon steel can be used to start a fire with a flint, which is a piece of rock, the right kind of rock, flint or chert. You can use that high carbon steel blade, whether it's an axe or whether it's a knife, to start a fire. That's why I prefer not to have a stainless steel knife or a stainless steel hatchet or axe. They have their place. However, if I'm out in the wilderness or I'm out in the woods and I get caught out in the woods, I want something that I can start a fire with. All right, so now let's look at something a little bit midway, and it's something that I have mentioned several times, is a hunter's axe, and then we have this one. Now, remember, see, it's got the same handle, it's just much heavier. With the weight on this, it really plows into wood like there's no tomorrow. Hunter's axes are great for hiking through the woods. So are hatchets. But a hunter's axe is a nice median. Now, there are many more styles. There are many more designs. I'm just going over some basics. All right, now let's look at the next two. We have a boy's axe and a full-size axe. So now you see the difference in size, okay? This is also called the 3/4 axe. It all depends on what you're going to be doing in camp or what you're going to be doing on a hike. And it depends the time of the year. There are times of the year when you may not even need an axe or a hatchet, that a bow saw would do, or a pruning saw. I happen to like a pruning saw, as you have seen in the building a sawbuck videos. Let's talk saws. There are different sizes of bow saws. Some are better than others. Like, here's an example for you. This little bitty thing. It's better than nothing, but you know, when you're cutting wood with a bow saw, you're not only depending on the blade, you're depending on the length of the stroke. The shorter the length of the stroke, the longer it's going to take to cut, unless it's really sharp. You can tell this is an old one. It's not in very good shape. Now, I found this out in the weather, and it needs some love. Also needs a new blade. Now, something you should know about when you're looking at a bow saw, okay? You have your teeth, and then you have your rake, okay? Your teeth kind of go like that, okay? And then in between the teeth that are going in different directions, there's one that goes straight. See if I have a better example of that. So if you look at this saw blade, you will see this center piece right here is the rake. These are the cutting edges, and they go left and right, left and right, left and right, rake, left and right, left and right, left and right, rake. And the rake is to pull the debris out of the cut. Next is the Bonesaw Laplander. Now remember, when you open a saw like this, you're going to open it like you would a pocket knife, away from you, okay? Now if you look at this one, this has cut teeth up and down it, but no rake. They're just cut up and down, left and right, but they're cut, they're not bent. They're cut left and right, but it is sharp. The next bow saw I want to show you is a takedown bow saw. There are many different styles. This is the style that I prefer. So this one opens up. The blade comes out, it's stored inside, and then you turn this around. Okay? Then you put this in here. Okay, and then this kind of cantilevers into a position where it makes it nice and tight. This is an awesome saw. I love using this saw. It really is my favorite. It's a good backpacking saw. If you want to take a bow saw with you, this will do the job. I have cut down some, well, not huge, some trees about that big around with it. It's a workout, but it cut through them like nothing. These are available, or a version of this is available on Amazon, and I'll see if I can get the information for you. I'll let you know that I do not get anything from Amazon, at least not at this point, if you order one. I'm just letting you know where to get one. Some of the commanders in my outpost, after they saw this, decided they had to have one too. This one is no longer made. The gentleman who was making these was retired and has decided that he has gotten a little old to be making these. I'm glad I got this while I could. But the new one actually is a little better in some ways. And to take it down, pull this out, turn this around, take it out. Find your little, see if you look at this, there's a little screw right here that goes into that hole. So you just grab it by the back of the blade, okay, and insert it, and then close this up, and see that little screw. All that, the only purpose of that little screw is to keep this from backing out. And there it is. Jiggles a little bit, but not much. Yeah, it's a little noisy. You could probably wrap some cloth around that, or a bandana or something to take the rattle out of it if it really got on your nerves. Be ready and don't be removed from the gene pool. Y'all come back now, you hear? Check out the link to one of the other videos.